All right, welcome back. So today we are doing a garage check. Last time I pulled them all out of my garage. This time I'm just not going to do that. There's way too many RCs, so I brought the majority of them out to my garage. These are all the running RCs, so I figured we would do a walk around and take a look at my RC collection. So I tried to do a lot of the on-road and drag stuff to the right of camera, and then to the left of camera is bashers. So I do have some cars up on the shelf that I'm just not going to take down. It's just it's a lot of work trying to gather up all this stuff. There's my daughter's bug I think she was looking for, the red and white one. But as you can see, I still have room down the center of my garage, which means I can probably still buy some more RCs. So between the Felonies, the Mojave, the X-Maxx, another Felony twin motor at the bottom, as you can see, there's still a little space on the garage floor. I don't have any more space. I've taken all my mechanic stuff and shoved it all in corners. But let's get into it. So a lot of people have been asking for this 2021, or it's going to be the beginning of 2022 garage check on how many RCs are here. Last count I was at 124. So we still have a couple of them that we can't find, and there's some upstairs that we haven't been able to locate, some of the smaller ones. Because we do have smaller RCs from when the kids were little, which there are some stuffed in the garage over here. And everything you see here, my primal's up on top of my toolbox right here. I do have the cover off of it. It's undergoing some surgery right now. I've got some two-stroke content coming for the two-stroke guys. So stay tuned and we'll get into it. We'll start going from the front to the back, and I'll probably start on this shelf first, and then we'll go over each RC. Every one of these do run. Every one of these are the complete ones. I do have a couple of projects that I haven't completed, like the twin motor deal right there. And then I do have the missing link drag build over there. And then some of my speed slashes up in the corner over there. And then I do have a broken slash up there, which I just found out from my son. And of course, the Haas up there in the corner. But I can't really get that close because everything is kind of in the way. So stay tuned. If that's what you want to see, is a garage check, which everybody's been asking me about. Stay tuned for this video. Think you're gonna like it. All right, so here we go. Here's at the top the Losi DBXLE 2.0 with some Proline Badland tires on it. The combination in that has been changed. I believe it's a Max 5 or an XLX2 with a Coke can 800 kV motor. And right next to it, you got the original DBXLE. That one also, I bought that as a parts rig because they were getting discontinued, and it drove so well I ended up doing a Coke can system in that, and it's all set up as well. Then we're gonna go to the Traxxas UDR right here that's hanging down. So that is an 8S conversion. If you didn't see that video, check it out. I do have the light kit on it, but my DBX-LE has definitely been a cool RC. And then right there in the corner, you have the Notorious. If you notice, I'll have a lot of the same platforms. The Notorious is just like the Outcast with just a different body. It's one of my favorite 6S bashers is the Notorious and Outcast. So while I'm deep in here, we're gonna go ahead and hit the Summits. That Summit right there is fully built, fully modified. It was my first Summit. It's probably 11 years old right now. It is on 6S. It has diff, transmission work, all kinds of parts that are just no longer available, all in that RC. And then this one is a bone stock Summit that I picked up because I hear it's going to be discontinued soon. And when I first went to rip this thing, the mini servos went bad in it, so I had to order some upgraded ones. So that is now all put back together and all ready to rip. So the Super Baja Ray, right there, that thing's got a bunch of DGM parts on it, aluminum parts. I can't really get over there. Let me see if I can get in there. It's got aluminum control arms. It's got the GPM rear trailing arms. Of course, light. It's got all kinds of stuff. This is a new body that I painted up on it. I went through it front to back, added more power, fixed the spare tire, so that is still on there. Most of those things flung off. This one I believe was originally yellow, hence the yellow bead locks on the wheels, but that thing's just an animal, the original Super Baja Ray. Right there is my daughter's first two-wheel drive Slash, a body that she's painted. Next to that we got the Haas, which I don't know if I can get over there. So this right here is the Haas. Everybody knows about the Haas. I am, as you can tell, I'm no fanboy of any brand. I do it all. That's my son's four-wheel drive Slash that's all ripped to pieces. He put some road tires on it. Him and his buddies crashed it into a curb. Then you guys know about the missing link right there. Got some tires off of it right now. And then what do we got here? Here we go. This is a full custom built Creighton that's got a bunch of EMP parts on it. This is the Gen 1 Creighton that I got from Deontay Hives. It's a project I started for my son. We got some big fat meats on this thing, and it's literally a beast. So there's my fastest Limitless GT. You guys have seen that a lot. I think I'm at 141 or 147 miles an hour or something like that was the last time out. So since then I haven't run that RC at all. So my goal was to get to 150 with this Limitless GT. Back in the far back right here, these are a couple of DHK Maximus RCs. These things are probably about 13 years old now. I have two of them. There's a story behind it. The electronics went out in one of them. Took it to hobby people back when I was getting into the hobby again. They couldn't get it repaired. They put a receiver in it and it still wouldn't work. So I ended up buying another one, and I kept the other one for parts. Never got around to fixing it. I believe the ESC is bad in it, knowing what I know now. And next to that is the DHK Zombie. Right there. So the DHK Zombie was actually a pretty cool platform. I believe that was a single 4S or a single 3S pack is what that was. And then these were two 2S's on the DHK Maximus. So these would take a dual battery, and that would take a single 3S pack right down the center for those DHK Zombies. Those I've had a long time as well. And then here's the Dementor that's never been run. Right when I tried to run this thing, the steering link fell off on it right over the speed bump, and contacted the store that I went and bought this from. This was around, I want to say, middle of COVID. So that had to be 2020. And he was supposed to order up the steering link, and of course that never came in, and it's been sitting this way ever since. You guys just saw the Slash 4x4. That one's fully modified with the bug body that I painted myself. There's this one is the Outcast 6S. All the electronics, everything on this thing is stock. This I call my skate park basher. I use this one strictly for skate parks. Because I can send it. I've run it full speed into curbs. I've beat the heck out of that orange thing. And then next to that, you got the 10th anniversary Outcast. So that one is collector's now. It's one of the ones that I've just never run. Usually when I like a platform, I'll buy more than one of them. Coming over here, we got the Kaiju, bless you, I didn't sneeze, Red Cat. This thing's just been a animal. Everybody knows the Kaiju. I have had one of I think the upper hubs break off in the rear, but since then they did a revised part. This thing's still ripping real good. And I got a couple of the Bigfoot Stampedes. Both of these, you can see how dusty they are. They're brand new. They're just kind of collectible. Just one of those ones I just don't run, but two-wheel drive Stampedes. We bought both body styles, and they pretty much just sit on the shelf. Then you got the Vortex over there. That's my daughter's Vortex. It's a pretty cool RC. We just haven't found a real purpose for the Vortex. It's a good, I guess, basher, as you would call it. It's strong. It's definitely Arma tough, and you gotta love it. All right, so on to the X-Maxx. This one is a standard Max. It's not the wide Max. It's got the new what are these things called? Sledgehammer tires. You guys see me rip this thing a lot. I do have a TRX4 right here that's real dusty. As you can tell, I don't do much crawling. It's got some aftermarket wheels on it. Some pretty cool parts in this thing. But I got the Bronco, and I have the Blazer somewhere. I haven't seen the Blazer in a while. But underneath here, we got the Losi. This is, what do they call this one? The Super Rock Ray. So it's all stock, haven't done much with it. I have ripped it a couple of times. It's just, it's a funny platform for what I do. And it was one of those RCs that I really love the quality and the build of it. But with the shocks exposed like that, compared to the Super Baja Ray, even though it's pretty much the same platform, it's a different driving experience that I'm just not used to. And then here we go, got the DBXL. I think this has the 23cc motor in it, the K&N. This was one of the first Losi vehicles that I purchased, and I really love it. We're going to be doing some modifications to this thing here really soon. So right here we have an 8S Outcast. This is the EXB version, I believe. I think I have two of the Outcasts. These were originally, I believe, rollers. I don't know if these were ready to runs. Not much to say. I do love the Outcast platform, the 8S compared to the Creighton. I have a couple of Creightons as well, which we'll get into here in a minute. You guys just watched me unbox this truck. That's just a collectible little truck because I like the little body that's on it. Then the TLR Typhon right next to it. Just ripped that on the channel if you haven't seen it. That thing handles well, rips really good. That's why it's so clean. Usually after I rip them, I try to clean them up and put them back on the shelf so they can get kind of dusty. And then here we go, the EXB Creighton. As you see, I do have a lot of Creightons. This thing was a flop, in my opinion. I've had to do the metal rear diff case. I had to do diffs several times. I had $1,100 into this RC with the electronics into it, and it sat around waiting for Horizon Hobby to get us the warranty diffs for this thing. But since then, I've had to replace the diff a couple of times. Once I got the aluminum housings, diff issues seem to have gone away. But that's the EXB Creighton 6S. Then we got here the Orange Felony. You guys have seen this on the channel. Set this one up with the little turbos on it. It's got about a bunch of modifications in there. I've showed it a few times on the channel. I've showed all these builds. Then the Mojave. You gotta love the Mojave. It's got the windshield mod that RC Guy Garage showed all of us how to do. This one is on 8S. I've got the upgraded body and the gray wheels on this one. As you see, it's seen better days. Bars and Tone, when he was out, ripped this thing and truly was having a blast with it on 8S. If you haven't checked out that video when Bars and Tone came to town, we ripped the heck out of this thing, and it had some pretty bad crashes, but it survived and it keeps ripping. Here's the other X-Maxx. This is the wide X-Maxx. This one is the one I've done the conversion. Really needs to be cleaned up. My X-Maxes are pretty dirty because I bash them all the time. This one's got a bunch of hot racing stuff. It's got the hot racing rear front diff covers, front and rear. It's got the upgraded springs with the wide kit, the upgraded fluid, the wide arms. It's a different driving experience. Both my X-Maxes have Max 6s in them, but I run the stock motors. Down here we have another Felony. This is a twin motor Felony. If you haven't seen that build, check it out on my channel. That's got twin motors in it. The thing's just an animal. It'll pop all 4 tires in less than a minute. It's a beast. You gotta love that thing. So let me get to the back of this line. Man, this video is gonna be long. So we went ahead and stopped here on this row at the Kaiju. There's the Techno. Let me get you guys over there. So there's the Techno MT410. Deontay Hypes really pushed me to do this build. Custom body. I have a whole playlist set up of this build on my channel, so go ahead and take a look at that. Shows you from start to finish what's in this. I send this thing all the time. It's got some 4S backflips on it. It's just an animal. Right here, this was a COVID build. This was something RC Guy Garage had put out. This is drag bug, basically. He had a challenge to take all your scrap parts and build up a drag bug. And that was my version right there of the little drag bug. So I have it over here with the bashers. I don't know why. But here we go. The little Traxxas on-road rally car. Ford Festiva. As you can see, it doesn't get played with much, but my son really wanted it, so we purchased it, and he used to play with it all the time. Then here we go. Here's a standard Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive. Just one I keep around, just a spare RC. Right here, this is a Luma Beast. You guys haven't seen a Luma Beast up on my channel. This thing basically started out as a 2-wheel drive Slash, and then I did a whole Integy or Integy build on this thing, chassis, everything. So every part on this is Integy, and it became a whole aluminum chassis 2-wheel drive Slash build. It's just a beast. It truly is. This thing rips. As you see, got some hot racing fans on it. These were all fun builds that I did back in the day. A Aluma Beast was one fun build. And as you see, I do like the bug body on these 2-wheel drive slashes. They're really cool. Here's my little daughter's low C8. This thing rips. You gotta love these low C8s. There's the new Wide Max. We do have other Wide Maxes. This is the ready to run version that was just released. What can you say about it? The thing's just a beast. Next to it, I got my Wide Max version. Now this one, I got steel CVDs in it, the upgraded ones from Traxxas with the orange white kit on it. And right now I have the standard Max tires on it. And then these are the sledgehammers that come on this Wide Max. Next to that, I got the Granite. My kids used to rip this thing all the time. Just one of those RCs that I never found a big use for. The 3S line from Arma, I got it for the kids, and they bash with them once or twice, and then that's it. They tend to sit. So here we go. The Axial Wraith. Just an RC I bought, never ran. It's kind of around. I do like building crawlers, I just don't like running the crawlers. I don't know, it's just something about me and crawlers. But I do like the way they look, I do like the scale, and I do like the builds. So here's the eRevo 2.0. This is my eRevo right here. My daughter's is right next to it. They're pretty much the same, all stock. We got a couple of aluminum upgrades. They do have the wheelie bars on them in the back, just to kind of protect the chassis. They are adjustable. You just got to kind of zip tie them into place. But the eRevos is another one of those platforms that's really, really fun. Here is the Grave Digger LMT. I ended up getting this because of Tony from CCXRC. We got both of them. Grave Digger's mine. I do have the Vitavon link upgrades on this, and that's about all I've done to it. I run it on 4S, and it's a beast. It's one of these RCs that me and my daughter play with all the time out at the park, and I just don't film it a lot. Here's my son's Typhon 6S. He didn't like this thing at first, but once we put on these Proline tires that the Deontay recommended, what are these things? The Badlands MXs. So the Proline Badland MXs really woke up the Typhon, and I think that's what made me end up getting the TLR Tune Typhon, was because once we put these tires on it, it really changed the performance of it. Now the TLR Typhon handles way different than this one, and I think it's because of the electronics and the low-C tuning it with the stuff low-C put on it. It really changed and made this thing handle like a beast. But this thing's a basher. It doesn't break. You can send it anywhere. Just doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, and I think that's where we struggle. There's the Creighton 4S. I've ripped this thing a few times. Just one of those RCs. It's definitely fun. I call this a park basher. I don't really send this RC. You can, but like skate parks, park in the grass, that kind of stuff, this is definitely a cool platform. It's lightweight, 4S, which I like. You can throw it in the trunk of the car, take it out on your lunch break, and just go rip it. So here are the Rustler 4x4s. The one over there, that was the launch edition right there. These things are fully upgraded, from steering servos to RPM parts to Proline shocks to everything. One of them's got a Max 8 combo in it. The other one's got stock electronics in it. And they're just an all-around same thing. Really low ground clearance. I don't run them a lot because they work great at the parks. They just don't, out in the desert where we run here in California with all the rocks, just doesn't have a big place, you know, for having that low ground clearance. They're a tough little RC, definitely something to have in your collection. You guys all seen the fire team lately. Here's the camo white and black fire team. Pretty much I tightened up the center diff, which has made the handbrake pretty much useless, but at least now I can bash it. It's stopped nosediving now. It's turning out to be one of Arrma's toughest RCs. The way the body's integrated into the chassis has really made this fire team a really strong, all-around, on-ground basher. You can take it off light jumps, nothing over 4 or 5 feet, the way it is. If you're going to start sending this RC, you got to do pretty much revamp the whole RC with, you know, you can go check out guys. They're running a bunch of N2C stuff. You just got to put a lot more money into it, and at this price point, it's better just to rip this thing the way it was intended, keep it on the ground, light jumps, race around with your buddies, and that's the way I feel the fire team should be, you know, run. Here's my daughter's Max. So hers is on 6S. It's a 6S out of UDR. I took the ESC out of the UDR and threw it in this because her ESC went bad. This is wide Max. She's got a bunch of aluminum upgrades on hers because she was busting off these rear hubs, so I got them in aluminum with the steel CVDs. So she's got a lot more upgrades than I have, but she sends it a lot harder than I do. Let's get over to the workbench. All right, coming over to my workbench. Here is the Infraction Mega. It's way at the top. I ended up picking up another one because the Mega I had went ahead and converted it into a Vendetta. So I'm running 2 Vendettas, and then this is the Mega that I'm just gonna kind of keep on the shelf. And then we got the Big Rock. That thing's just a beast. If you didn't see that thing, we beat the heck out of that RC right there. That's a good, I believe, starter RC for anybody that's going to get into the hobby. That thing's just bulletproof. And then the Sendetta, I think is what that was called. Sendera, something like that. It's got the Toyota body on it. It's a crawler. I did a bunch of upgrades to this thing. Never ran it, but got the metal bumpers on it. Got rid of the rear bumper because that thing kept getting in the way when I was trying to crawl it. Then we got the Snap-on edition. This is a Traxxas 100th anniversary edition for Snap-on. This thing's real cool, just a collectible car that I have. It's a longer chassis based off the Fortec. Pretty cool build. That's another RC I don't remember seeing, my Fortec. I gotta find the Fortec. It's somewhere around here. It's got a Mustang body on it. I haven't seen it in a while. But here we go right here. There's the TRX4. This is the Chevy C10. This thing's got everything on it. It's got all the brass stuff, everything you can want. Winch, Warren winch, metal bumpers, yaw racing, everything. I can't remember her name. It was like Crawler Girl or something like that. She did a video with all this brass stuff with these portals and all this stuff, and I ended up buying every piece with the rock guard, front and rear axles. This thing's just, this is what I call my $2,000 can't climb over a pebble RC. But definitely a fun RC, and I do have a trailer that goes with this that attaches to the back of it so that I can tow things with it. My daughter's little Volcano 8 by Red Cat. These little things, this thing rips. This thing is so fast for the size of this thing. This thing's truly amazing. And they sell upgraded parts for it, which we had to do because my daughter kept breaking it. So I think she snapped an axle on it, and we did some upgraded axles. There you go. See that orange axle? Ended up putting upgraded axles on this thing. And then this little Traxxas Ripper, you guys know what this thing is. This thing's a beast. Little Traxxas rally car. These things are awesome. My son wanted it, so went ahead and got it for him. But people are making these things amazingly fast. Here's my original Big Rock. This is the one that's a little skinnier, comes with the blue body. I've never really bashed this thing at all compared to the one up there. I think they call this the version 2 Big Rock, and that's the version 3 up there. But when you like a platform, you end up getting 2 of everything. Here's my Fox Edition Losi DB Pro. RC Guy Garage made me pick this thing up. This thing's just an animal. I keep it all stock. I do have it on the Traxxas wheels because he ripped it on the Traxxas wheels and it did awesome. So I went ahead and did the conversion. It's got Habio hexes in it and I was able to put these on. And I think since then he's put Kaiju tires on his, but I really like the way that this thing rips. Handles great, steers great, fun all around basher. Here's the LMT, the son of a digger. This is my daughter's. So as you see, we did the Vitavon on this as well. That's pretty much the only upgrades we've done to these things, and we just beat the heck out of them. Now they are shoe goo and drywall taped all in here. I'll show you on the Grave Digger. Here's the Primal Dragster. We're doing some work to this thing. I got a bunch of parts that came in for this, so I really got to start on this build soon. We got some new tires for it. Got the parachute mount on the back. You can see it right there. Go check out my video where I throw the parachute on this thing. But we got a big motor for this thing. Got some tires, wheels, some hubs, a bunch of stuff on this thing. I got to get started on this build soon. Here's my M2C Creighton. This is the original Creighton that's got an M2C chassis on it. We went crazy on this build, but it was just one of those things I wasn't really happy with. But it does rip. You can bash it, but every time I bring it out, it's got a brand new wing on it right now. I snapped this wing off on a bad landing. Every time I land on the back with all the weight on this M2C chassis, ends up snapping this wing. But other than that, I mean, the thing's a ripper. Here's my Losi 5T. This is the new 2.0 5T, so it's got the 32cc motor in it, and the thing's just fun. It's a beast. I thought I had a clutch issue. Last time I took it out, turned out it just had a bunch of dirt in there. Cleaned it all out. The thing rips really good. Like brand new. I love just ripping that thing around, the smell, everything. Then the Super Baja Ray 2.0. Got some stuff on it, I guess my kids put on there. But here's the Super Baja Ray 2.0. I did do a $7 fix on the back of this thing to stop some of the flex. Ever since I did this thing, I can send this thing off jumps. I beat the heck out of it, and it just takes everything. The body's seen better days, but overall, the thing just survived everything I threw at it. If I can get a new body, I need a body and I do have the cage. I'm just waiting on a body. A lot of parts are back ordered right now. You just can't get them. Another Creighton 8S. This thing's pretty much all bone stock. I leave it the way it is and I just rip it like that. I put a Coke can system in it, and other than that, got an 800 kV with a max 5, and we just rip the thing like that, and no chassis change. If I ever bend the chassis, I'll replace it and put another stock one. But so far, it's been pretty good the way it is. Got my Jado 2-stroke up there. There's my 2-wheel drive Rustler, 120 mile an hour Rustler right below it. As you see, I got to double stack them, but there's my 4S Outcast. It's on 6S. That thing's an animal. That thing I've never ran. RC Guy Garage says the Sentin is an RC I should run. I probably should run it one of these days. I just haven't. There's my RTR Outcast 8S. I love that thing. You know, This and the X-Maxes are probably two of my favorite RCs. The all metal with the outcast, you can backflip it, it's durable, it's got a lot of air control. It's just one of those things you can keep sending it and the thing just survives. Little different driving style than an X-Maxx, but definitely a fun platform. There's my two-wheel drive slash. I set this up for on-road. It's definitely a cool. I got a lot of slashes, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And then here's all my drag stuff. So there's the low C's, DR10, watermelon down there. That's my Thunder truck right there. There's my my Fox body right there. That thing's a beast. I've done all kinds of builds on these things. That's got some Reefs wheels on it. A lot of my dragsters got Reefs wheels on them. You guys just saw the Losi and the Traxxas drag slash go head to head. Those things are awesome. I really love the look of my Mustang with the paint job I did on that. That thing is probably, I want to say 5-6 years old now. And then this is my mid-motor Camaro drag build with a Tekin system in it. Definitely a cool build. I do like my drag stuff. It's definitely fun. Here's the giveaway build. We're going to finish up hopefully this week. There's Phil Jolly's 150 mile an hour slash. He did 150 miles an hour, and I bought it and he shipped it to me. There's our Skittles build. That thing's a beast. Go check it out. It's got some Proline staggered wheels on it. There's my Limitless. That's got all kinds of upgrades in it as well. Not as much as the giveaway build, but I enjoy it the way it is. I did a red one as a giveaway, and this was basically to duplicate that with the staggered wheels, and I'll probably do the same. I'll probably build another green one. If I can find the gold wheels again, I'll probably build one for my collection. But this one is going to one lucky subscriber. There's my V2 Infraction. Love that thing. I bash that thing all the time. And then my Speed Vendettas, 100 mile an hour, both of them. So there we go, guys. That's everything I have out here. I am missing my my Fortec with the Mustang body. I got to figure out where that is. And there are probably about another 20 upstairs that I'm just not going to take out of the rooms. But most of those are collectible, other than the Fortec. That's one that I rip. It's got a 65 Mustang body, 66 Mustang body on it. And God, I just don't know where I put it. But when you have this many RCs, sometimes they get lost. But there we go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys on my next video.